Guys, what's up? Welcome back to this YouTube channel. It's your guy Igor here. In today's video, I'm going to tell you how to legalize your basement or secondary suite here in Calgary to make money. Guys, today's video is going to be made for my website, houseincanada.ca, guys, where I'm going to make all the information in writing, in details and more details on my blog. And the link is going to be in the description of this video. Now, let's get started. If you have been following this channel for some time, guys, you remember I was shopping for a house. And I was searching for something that is a good house and has a basement in it. An illegal or legal basement suite so that I can make some profit and cover up the mortgage expenses, because I always wanted to live mortgage free. The reality is that my basement suite right now covers all of my mortgage interest payments, property taxes, and even utilities. So if you want to do the same, make sure you subscribe to this channel and watch this video till the end. It's going to be a lot of valuable information here. And to the end of this video, I'll disclose how much money I'm making. In today's video, we are going to look at what is a legal secondary suite or a basement, or how to legalize your secondary suite here in Calgary based on my own experience on how I did it with the city of Calgary, and how to legalize your secondary suite here in Alberta. How much money you can expect to make from a legal secondary suite here in Calgary or in Alberta. What is a secondary suite? Well, a legal secondary suite, which means is it's registered. The secondary suite is legally registered with your local municipality. In my case, it's City of Calgary. I actually got a permit to have it, and it's registered in the register in case neighbors want to check it. Secondary suite, by that I mean it can be a basement, it can be a main level, it can be an upper level suite, it can be a backyard suite where you know there's even a suite that is built. The garage used to be there and they made it into like a guest house, or even a garage where they build an upper level, and that can be a secondary suite as well. So there is lots of variations, but it has to be built in terms of becoming legal. For example, in Alberta, it has to be in match of Alberta Building Code, ABC, and or also fire code as well. So it's safe for you and for the people who are staying there all together, and it's registered with the city, with the local municipality. Now, why should you legalize your basement secondary suite? First thing, the neighbors cannot complain to the municipality if it's legal to shut you down. Second reason is municipality cannot shut you down following on the complaint of your neighbors, giving you a heavy fine and forcing you to remove it on your own expense. They can do that, unfortunately. Third reason, it's actually safer. So if you're renting it to a tenant, there might be a liability problem. If somebody, let's say, the staircase is not up to code and somebody goes flying and breaks something, you might be financially liable for that. And second reason is, well, it's safer for you. If you're living in the same house, in terms of fire code, if anything goes wrong, it's safer to have it up according to the safety standards and fire code. And the final reason is, number 4, is that cities, like municipalities, let's look at Calgary. They are given an incentives right now, so they're waiving about $900 in fees for you to legalize your secondary suite until December 2021, 31st of December 2021, which is great. It's a lot of money for a lot of people, guys, and it's an opportunity to take advantage of this, this discount and get it legalized right now. Guys, it is really important to legalize your basement suite. Why I'm saying is that you don't want to lose money. If you're buying a property that you want it to have an investment property, you want it to pay for your mortgage and support you financially, so that 1 time or 2 times a year when you're traveling, you have enough money for that, or for something else, for your children's education, let's say. So if you want to save up money for that, you don't want the government to shut you down. You don't want your neighbors to go and snitch on you and complain, oh, there's this guy living over there, renting that suite, and the government comes and shuts you down and your income goes void. You have to pay fines, you might have to remove it, or you might have to do those. Now, after you lost that income right in a bad moment, now you have to start doing your renovations to get it up to the code. And better do it sooner than later, because regulations right now are this thin. Later on, they might make you get everything up to code. If it's an existing suite, you can actually get it done easier right now. Guys, I'm back to my home. Now I'm going to tell you how to legalize your secondary suite. And I'm going to show you my sticker that I got from the city of Calgary. Check this out, guys. So this is See, this is called registered secondary suite. This is what I got. So once you have a legal basement suite, you're going to have a sticker just like I do have on my door, and I'm actually renting it out on Airbnb right now. Guys, there are actually two types of basement suite. Well, there is non-existent suites and existing basement suite. Let me explain it to you. Non-existent basement or legal secondary suite, guys, it is expensive. So it means that you have a basement, let's say, that is undeveloped. You know, there is nothing. A lot of houses, new builds they don't have their basements finished. So you might have a utility space, furnace, whatnot, boiler there, but that's about it. Unfinished wall. How much is it to legalize a basement like that? Guys, you're looking at full-scale development here. In some cases, you see, I just showed you a door, right? So I have a door. I'm gonna break my camera. So I have a door over here, see guys? So this door is basically, you need a separate... What happened to this camera? So, how much does it cost to legalize a basement that's not even there, that you have to develop? Well, undeveloped, it costs anywhere from 40 to 60,000 Canadian dollars. It is really expensive. You have to hire like an entire contractor, unless you are like myself, you want to do it yourself. And still, even I get a contractor. And to be honest with you guys, I had to do some of renovations on my basement myself, and I'll tell you guys that I would rather hire a contractor next time. I really wouldn't do it again myself. So that's why it is so expensive, and there are entire companies dedicated to it. They know all the codes, and the legislation from the city is more complicated if you have an undeveloped basement, because they need second furnace and a lot of more things to put in there than for an existing one. And that's the second type of basements and legal suites are there. Okay, that's the second type of legal suites out there that are existing ones. I mean, illegal suites. Guys, now here is how you legalize an illegal basement suite or secondary suite that's already there. This is how I did it myself. The first step is going to be to call the city of Calgary. You can call 311. You're basically going to book an inspection, which they did to me for no charge. I had two people showed up, two inspectors from the city on my backyard. They went through the back door. They inspected everything. So first step would be to call the city of Calgary. Second step would be to book an inspection, and two inspectors are going to show up after you booked it. So first one you call, then inspectors show up, they look at the property, they assess everything, and they look around and they measure everything, and they say what needs to be done to get it legalized. So they would produce an inspection report, which they're going to even send you later on by email as well, so you have a copy of it. You have to remember two things, guys. One of them is, it's a kind of permits, like the biggest ones you should know. One of them is development permit, which is related to land use, and people call it zoning here. It's actually land use. So basically what it is, what I found out when the inspectors showed up here, that my area where the house is, it's not meant to have a secondary suite. So I was not supposed to even have it initially, but the previous owner made it anyways. Previous owner made money from this secondary suite because he lived downstairs and rented upstairs. That was his business. Now I purchased it and I didn't want any problems with anyone, so I decided to legalize it. So they had to actually get a development permit. Good thing the city of Calgary actually waived it. Now what it means is that they have to rezone the area, which is, they told me they have to publish it in local newspapers, go to the local boards. More importantly, there was a sign in front of my house saying proposed development of a secondary suite, which is basically, guys, asking the neighbors to go. There was a QR code or something that you can scan, go to the website, and you can actually vote if you are for it or against it, and explain your reasons why you don't want a secondary suite in this neighborhood. So my neighbors could technically shut me down, but they didn't vote for it, so I got approved for the development permit. The second step and biggest permit would be building permit. Once you are approved to develop your basement for a development permit, your neighbors didn't say bad things and they said okay, so you're approved now, you get a building permit. Now it's based on the report. In my case, neglected it, so I waited too long for it. I forgot how things, whenever those guys told me that had to be done. I was too busy with my work and I wanted to do the work myself, so I asked the city inspector to come here again after I got my development permit. And actually I got a second guy who showed up here in my place, and that guy was more demanding. He was not in a good mood because he just told someone who has just finished their ceilings in the house to rip them down, to rip out the drywall and put a soundproofing. And well, he just wanted to make my life complicated as well, and I guess he put more requirements on that report. So probably I should have not called the city the second time. Anyhow, that's my experience, but I got a more clear instruction and understanding what needs to be done. So in my case, I had to get secondary permits. I had to get an electrical permit to put out the smoke detectors, the carbon monoxide detectors. They all have to be hardwired with the alarms upstairs. Luckily, my windows more egress size. Guys, if you want to get details on what I had to do, in more details on the renovations, I can actually show things inside my basement. Leave it in comment down below because it's going to be a separate big video. Guys, especially, like, there is lots of things, but I didn't have to do too much, and luckily I am handy with the tools. A lot of swearing in Russian, and patience and annoyance and YouTube videos, but I got it done. Guys, I just want to remind you that development permit is not for everyone. You might have proper land use and zoning in your area. Your house might not need a development permit. So it was for me, because in my life everything has to be complicated, but luckily I can now make a video about it for you guys. So subscribe to this channel. Guys, now if you got yourself a development permit, it means that you're going to have, let's say, an electrical permit. Depends on what you need to get done. So you have electrical permit, probably plumbing permit, you might have to get a gas permit, and that's, I think that's are the main important ones: plumbing, electrical, and gas. I think they are saying there is also a fire permit, but I'm not a construction guy, so I don't know all the details. But the main part about it is building permit. That's the main thing that is there. So once you get everything done up to code as per instructions, like on the list that you have, you can hire a contractor to do that. It's going to be more money. You can hire people who are journeymen for different kinds of tasks and do another part of it yourself, like I did, and it's going to be way cheaper. I had contractors who were offering me 2 times, 3 times the price of what I paid myself by doing some of work myself and hiring journeyman to do the other part of work. And permits, well, you can pull it for yourself if you use the property owner, or you can get those journeymen to pull permit from their name, but then it's going to cost you a little bit more. So once you get everything done, let's say you did the electrical, you call the city, they do the inspection, you got the plumbing done, you got the gas done, let's say, it all gets inspected, everything is getting done, and then after that you close everything with the drywall, you finish everything in the basement, you get it, or now you are already fulfilling all the requirements on that report that you got. Now that you are completed that requirements on that report, now you're booking a building permit inspection. So now you have a building inspector who's going to come to your place, and hopefully the person who wrote the report, sometimes a different person, and they're going to inspect your basement. So what happens next is that if you pass that inspection, basically they're going to email you a permission to occupy. So it's like another kind of permit that people can actually live in your basement or your secondary suite. So now the city is going to send you a sticker, just like I got. They're going to send you an email with some drawings of like shared common space and whatever they assessed, and you would be able to even apply for a separate mailing address for your secondary suite with Canada Post if you need one. So what it means is that it stays there for life with you. Your registration, now your legal basement suite is legal, unless it falls down behind the requirements and something like that. But basically, once you legalized it, it's great, because now the neighbors that are living in your street, they cannot complain about you, and if they do, you're doing what is legal, you have a permission, you have a permit, and everything is up to code, so they cannot really shut you down or fine you for having a secondary suite in your house, and it can be a really reliable source of income. Okay guys, don't hate me, because I'm actually making good money from my secondary suite, and I do it right now on short-term rental. There are two options how you can make money. One of them is short-term rental and one of them is long-term rental. Guys, I also have a business license for short-term rentals, so that again nobody can actually go and complain about me for not doing it legally, because short-term rental business license in Calgary is like $99 I believe, or $100 for a year. Who cares? It's really cheap, it's nothing, and it's also legal, so people cannot go and, well, they cannot just, you know, ruin that income for me. Or that's why I'm recommending for you to get it the same way. You can do it on bookings.com, you can do it on Airbnb, there's, or bed and breakfast. There's so much of platforms out there, guys. If you want to get a referral bonus and support this channel, because once you sign up I also get a referral bonus from Airbnb. I'll leave a link for Airbnb in the description of this video, because here's how much money I'm making from Airbnb. There are some times, and I showed on a video how much money I'm making. There are some months where I made over $3,000 in a month on Airbnb on my bookings. Now there are some months where it's really low and it's closer to like $1,000, and you would be surprised because you'll be like, hey Igor, you're making $1,000 from a basement? You kidding me? You're saying that's not enough? Well, as I said, sometimes it's $3,000, sometimes it's $1,000, but averaging somewhere closer to $2,000, which is a lot of money, which you cannot really get as much money on a long-term rental. Why I love short-term rental is that I don't have a person or people in my basement all the time. So there are days where people are staying there, and there's days when there's nobody there. So you know, I can run around, I can make noise, I can have my baby run around with the hammer and beat the flooring and yell as much as the baby wants without, you know, disturbing somebody who is downstairs. And also you get way more privacy like that, and way more freedom, because you can book off a couple of weeks and go somewhere else. But you know, guys, some people would not prefer doing what I do. Some people would not want to go and change the bed sheets when the guests leave, do the cleaning or hire cleaners. Sort of, you can say it's a passive income, but really it's an active income, because you have to get involved. And as I said, when you get bad guests, it happens sometimes, once in a while. Most of the time I get the best guest ever, and the place, the people who stay there in Airbnb, they treat the place better, and by God forbid something happens, I go through their customer service, through their host guarantee program, and each time anything went broken or anything went missing, the Airbnb reimbursed me for the full amount. Guys, let me know in the comments down below if you want me to create an awesome video that's going to save you potentially $10,000, $5,000 or $15,000, depending on which stage you're at right now. I can make a detailed video on how you can get the right contractors, how you can choose the right people, and how you can get everything done by yourself at almost no cost. Okay guys, let me know in the comments down below. Now what I'm going to do is, yeah. Okay, I need a hand. Searched for my cell phone everywhere around the house, looked out of the window. Yeah, I think that's my cell phone. Damn it. It's working, it's working, it's still working. Subscribe.